love about this meal is that it's power-packed with flavor, it's super simple, 8 ingredients, and it's nutritious and the whole family will love it. We have all different varieties of plant-based foods. We have our sweet potatoes, some Adzuki beans, red bell peppers. We also have our healthy fats, that are sunflower seeds. I'm about to bake my sweet potatoes. While my sweet potatoes are baking, it's the perfect time to get prep ready for all the other ingredients. I'm gonna take my green onions first. I'm gonna take my onions and put them on the plate because I'll be sauteing those first so they lose a little bit of their potency. And then I'm gonna save the rest of the onions so that I can garnish and give that zest to the dish right when we finish. And with these darker parts, I'm gonna do just about the same cut except maybe a little bit smaller so they're more friendly to each bite. Perfect. With a red bell pepper, it's actually really easy to cut. And one of my favorite techniques is to go ahead and remove the top, and then I'll cut the end off. Now inside the pepper you can see there's the fibrous part. So all I'm gonna do is find where that fiber connects to the skin, and I'm gonna slightly cut through it and spin my bell pepper as I'm just shaving off the fibrous parts. And it doesn't have to be a perfect cut, you just want them to be as much of a, I guess, equal dice as possible, about a ½ inch. And that's just kind of called a rough chop. Now I'm gonna cut my collards. Collards are awesome, they're the new kale. And right now I'm just taking the fibrous stalk of each of my collards and making a little triangle and discarding that. And when I'm cutting collards at home, I like to roll them up into a bunch because again, that makes it more manageable for me. Cutting in about 1-inch strips. Keep in mind, once they're cooking, they will shrink in size. There we go. Okay, my sweet potatoes are hot right now. They were in there for about 45 minutes. They're nice and tender, so I'm gonna let them cool, and we'll move on to broth sauteing. We are doing an oil-free saute. With this technique, we're taking out any extracted oil, which 1 tablespoon has 120 calories, and we're substituting it with a broth, veggie broth in this case. As soon as the bubbles are kind of coming across the entire pan on the bottom, that's when I'm gonna throw my veggies in. Perfect. My onions are now translucent, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my collards and my Adzuki beans and throw them in. So I'm gonna give it a quick stir, put the lid on to trap the moisture and wilt those greens. And while it's cooking, I'm gonna cut my sweet potatoes and prepare them for plating. And feel free to not peel the potato if you don't want to. The skin actually has extra fiber, and I buy organic potatoes, so I just go for the whole thing. So now that my greens have wilted, we're ready to plate. I'm gonna grab spoonfuls and just kind of lay it across the center of my plate. Potatoes with collard greens and Adzuki beans.